road to Kona, not how I thought it was going to be. I thought this year I would have had some good races, be feeling pretty good. So this road to Kona is going to be quite different from we're now just over 9 weeks to go until Kona. I am running 5 minutes at a time currently, I'm looking to sort of build that up fairly rapidly because yeah, there's no tendon involvement in this one. So after a long chat with Will, we're basically going to take a few more risks because otherwise there's not much point going to Kona unless I've got a good run build. So yeah, my main aim for the next basically 2 months, right? Because 1 week is kind of taper. Basically the next 2 months is get that return to run up to the point where I'm hoping it's like 3 weeks of gradual build, 4 weeks of like good block of running, 5 weeks of good block of running, I guess, and then 1 week kind of taper. And part of that, so we're trying to, the next couple of weeks I guess are the most risky from a return to run point. So I'm keeping that slightly more conservative, but if you asked my physio, he would tell you I'm not being conservative at all. Feels quite conservative, but it's yeah, we should hopefully, touch wood, be able to build a lot more quickly than with the tendons. So it'll look something like 4 by 5 minutes on Tuesday. So I did 2 by 5 minutes today. I'm going to do like 20 minutes on Saturday, and then underwater treadmill run just steady on Sunday. And then next week we'll do something like 4 by 5 minutes Tuesday, 3 by 10 minutes Thursday, and then maybe some longer intervals Saturday, and some underwater treadmill with that, and probably some aqua jogging. So it's kind of trying to get some volume in there without pushing it too much. And then hopefully the week after will be a bit more like continuous running. And hopefully by that point we then feel good to start adding some speed in. Feels hopefully like that will be a good route. And I've got stuff like the lever as soon as we basically want to get a bit more load through the calves first before relying on the lever, because otherwise the risk is you kind of use the lever and then you haven't really exposed your calf to that load, so it then can't handle it anyway. So there's a bit of a balancing act of get the calves to the point where they're taking the load, but then use the lever to offset that a bit and get a bit more volume in. Bike-wise, I was in really good bike shape before I took my week off. So I obviously was doing quite a lot of biking, and I was doing quite a lot of higher intensity to get ready for the PTO Opens. So I feel like the bike legs are in a pretty good place. They don't feel great this week getting back into it, but I'm pretty confident by next week I'll be back to kind of good bike legs. So I think again we'll probably be slightly more bike volume whilst the run volume's coming up, but nothing too crazy. And the main thing we're trying to work on is just getting that, I guess like partly the efficiency, but getting used to kind of being at that ambitious Ironman tempo. Like I think for me, my sort of Kona race plan has basically got to be go pretty hard on the bike, especially with my running situation. I was kind of hoping to be more in a place this year for Kona where I could have the run confidence to be like, I don't have to kind of go for it on the bike, but I think I'm probably going to be in a bit more of a, nah, I'm just going to have to go for it on the bike and see what happens on the run. So yeah, so we'll get a bit more bike volume in, but yeah, really trying to focus on like good position, getting the power out in that TT position and doing some of the kind of longer intervals. Swim wise, again, the swim's actually in quite a good place at the moment. I feel like I've now got quite a good balance of doing some of the front pack swim sessions and some squad sessions. I'm really just trying to work on, again, kind of efficiency of just being able to hold certain paces but make that feel a bit easier. So that's kind of progressing. So yeah, so I've basically got, the general plan is to spend the next 4 weeks-ish here, just like training, rehabbing, getting fit. Then I'm gonna fly out to Kona pretty early. Indy Lee's gonna come with me and be my training buddy. So we're gonna head out on like the 11th. I basically just decided that I kind of wanted some heat prep. I wanted to be away from home just to kind of have that focus. Indy was quite keen to come out to Kona, and I actually think Kona's not a terrible place to train if you're not staying in the actual town. So we're going to be staying up in like Waikoloa. So you've got the option of some like different types of roads. Also gives me the opportunity to do quite a lot of ocean swimming, which I think I need to practice quite a lot. And obviously having someone like Indy there is good because she's a very good swimmer. So I'm hoping to just swim lots with her, get used to trying to catch onto her feet. And there's quite a lot of good trails and stuff around, so the running will be good. So hopefully that will then be just a really good heat block. Get used to being out in Kona. You've then done all the big travel, so yeah, it kind of made sense. We'll see, like I might get 3 weeks in and be like, this is a terrible idea, but hopefully that'll be good. So race week, move a little bit closer to town. Probably still stay a bit out, to be honest, just because I don't necessarily feel the need to be in the throng of it. It's quite nice having a bit more space. I actually think, to be honest, I think this year it'll feel very empty compared to last year. Like the numbers won't be the same, so I actually think it'll probably be a bit more pleasant generally from a space-wise. Atmosphere-wise, I think it'll be a bit rubbish, but maybe I'm being a bit pessimistic about that. So yeah, so like we'll move for race week a little bit closer, but still a little bit out. As far as I know, I think she said to me there's no point coming if I then don't stay for the race. So I'm pretty sure India will be there the whole duration, but yeah, definitely for the month. And yeah, I think she'll want to stay to kind of watch the race, see how the dynamics play out. For her, it's kind of a bit of an info gathering trip for 2 years' time when she will hopefully be coming out.